What's up, YouTube? I'm back in the still standing garage. We're gonna keep this Monte moving, getting it ready for paint. So right now what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start removing the trunk lid over here to start prepping these jams over here. Everything else that has to do with the jams on the Monte is ready to go. Just this area is the area that I need to clean up and get ready. I'm gonna have to take off this trunk lid so that way I could have better room in here to work. The trunk lid, like I said before, it's aluminum, so it should be all right to lift it off of here by myself. I don't have anybody else to help me at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. One thing that I am gonna do is I'm gonna put some old shirts right here, so just in case it kind of falls over, I don't break the glass or I don't damage anything else over here. I'm gonna do it on both sides. I'm gonna do it on this side too, put another shirt back there. Check this out, I picked up these OG hubcaps for the Monte over here. Picked them up real cheap. I had to drive all the way to Montebello. I'm over here in Fontana, so I had to pick them up all the way over there. It's a pretty good price that I got them for. I mean, I don't know exactly where I'm going with the car when it comes to the suspension. I mean, I have everything stock right now, but I don't know if I should switch it up and actually put hydros on it. We'll see in the future. I don't know. I might just drive it on stock suspension for a while and then switch it up later on. But the wheels, at least I have the hubcaps ready to go before they start spiking up in price even more. Looks like the G bodies are making a comeback and everybody's selling all these parts for millions of dollars. They're exaggerating on the pricing, but you know, it's all good. So let's start taking off this trunk lid. Let's go. Both of them. Put them in my little baggie. Where is it at? Right there. Take off this little piece too. That little wire holder. Take that off. Another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the weather seal off too. I'm replacing this one anyways, but I'm not gonna throw it away just yet until I put that new one on. So that way I make sure that it's the right length. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it till then and then I'll toss it. So after I take this off, I'm gonna go ahead and start vacuuming up and then start cleaning this whole area up so that way I can start scuffing it. Well, I gotta wash it first and then scuff it and then we'll go from there. Alright YouTube, so it's all cleaned up, all washed up. Hit it with the brush, then I hit it with that rag to clean off all the excess water and soap. So I'm ready to start scuffing it up. What I'm gonna end up doing is gonna start hitting it with some of the red Scotch Brite like I did on the rest of the jams. on these overspray areas, like all this area right here that's overspray with primer. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with 220 grit first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the red Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna do the same thing with these right here, but see, these are let me see if I could get a good view of it. I could look at it on the other one. So on these, the paint is already chipping off. You see how it's chipping off right there? So I'm gonna start hitting these areas with 220 and take off as much as I can. I'm gonna try to hit it with the spatula, see if I could take off some of that paint with the spatula, and then I'll start hitting it with 220, and then I'll hit it with this. So let's keep it moving. Alright YouTube, so everything's all scuffed up, ready to go. The whole backside's done. I did hit this side again. I hit it before, but I wanted to hit it again just to make sure I got everything pretty good. I did remove those 3 pieces as you guys saw, the pieces that went here, because I really want to get the paint back there, make sure I get that pretty good. And then right now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to turn on my fans, open the garage a little bit, and then I'm going to start blowing out the whole garage, dusting it off. I'm going to throw on my respirator just to make sure I don't breathe all that crap. So then once the dust starts settling down, I am going to hit it with my airline again. And then I am going to wash all these areas again just to make sure I got everything and blow those off. I'm not going to show you when I wash those. It's pretty much the same thing as you guys saw in the previous video. But I'm not going to use soap this time. I'm just going to use regular water. So let me throw on my mask, start blowing this crap out. And then we should be ready to go. And then, oh, and all that dust is going to blow out. It's going to be a minimal because all that dust that was on the floor, I did end up sweeping up the majority of it. So it's not going to be that much. So I should be all right. I don't want to get that all over my driveway or my cars or the neighbors' cars. So let's get that going. Let's go. Alright YouTube, so everything's all cleaned up. It's all washed down with just regular water, and I did use another microfiber rag to start drying it all off. I hit all the door jambs and the engine bay area, hit all that, got everything ready. Now I got to start masking everything off. I did take out my little wall from my garage for my ghetto booth to dust it off, so it's all dusted off and ready to go. But before I can start setting all that up, like I said, I have to start masking all these areas out. The areas that I don't want any paint on. So I'm gonna start doing that right now, and let's see how that goes. Let's go. Alright, YouTube, so all the back taping is done. It's all taped off. I try to get all the holes that are open, except for these. I'm okay with these being open. I don't care about that. Like the back side over here, I did hit some of these holes from the inside, because I do have a lot of stuff in the trunk. I don't want any of that having any overspray. They hit all these right here, that right there, all these little holes here. Hit them from the back. The only ones that I couldn't hit was these right here. All these right here, because the tire is in the way. And I didn't want to take everything out because I would have to pretty much remove everything. But I think the way that this is set up with the tire being there, I don't think any of that overspray is going to get all up in there. I guess we'll find out, right? But it's pretty much ready to go. Another area that was kind of complicated to get to was obviously right here. I took my time and I try to tape it off as much as I can. I know some of it's going to get overspray, but at least the box itself is not going to get any overspray on it. Back there, it's going to get some overspray because I can't reach all those areas, but I'm okay with it. You're not going to be able to see that. But you see back there, let me see if I can give you guys a really good view. But back there, it's taped off as much as I could. One thing I hate to see is overspray on stuff that's not supposed to be sprayed. That kind of sucks. So I hit it all in here. Everything's ready to go. This side was a lot easier to tape off. I got that all taken care of. Got all down there, all up in there. So the one thing that I was looking at as I was taping this off is I'm gonna have to spray with my left hand. So I'm trying to practice, do like dry runs and try to practice to see how I'm gonna be swinging the gun around. You know, I could weld left-handed all day, but I've never sprayed. So, you know, the confidence needs to be there for me to be able to spray, but I'm going to give it a go. I know on this side, when I'm spraying this side, I'm going to be all right because I'm right-handed. You know, I'm good, but we'll find out. Back here, too, I did tape off the windshield wiper arm, but the one that goes to the motor that goes here, I taped it off. And I don't care if any overspray gets here. I'm planning on spraying this black. This little bracket that holds the motor. I'm gonna clean this up at a later time and then I'm gonna paint it black. Same thing in here, I'm gonna paint black in there. So I'm okay with all that, getting some of that overspray on it. But other than that, I'm ready to start laying some plastic. So like I put in the subtitles too, as you guys saw, I'm doing about 3/8. It's about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch away from the edge because I'm gonna be using a soft edge tape, a foam tape. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. And then here, I couldn't reach this hole from the inside. So what I ended up doing is I put a little of that masking paper. I balled it up, but I try to put it in a way that it doesn't create pockets because I don't want any of that paint sitting in there. And then when I start spraying, it's going to blow it out. So I just put it in there as flat as I could and prevent that overspray going in there on all the wiring harness. So now what I'm going to end up doing now is I'm going to try to hit up the whole car with the plastic. So with this plastic sheeting, I'm going to try to hit it up and see if I could get it good at it. This is going to be my second attempt at doing this. We're going to find out because I don't want to use a lot of this paper right here because that will take a long time. But we're going to find out right now. Everything's ready to go. It looks pretty clean like that. So let's keep it moving. Let's go. Alright YouTube, so the whole car's masked off, it's ready to go. I only showed you guys the back part and the passenger side being masked off. I already did the driver's side too. I did manage to cover up that little area I said I was going to leave open. I was able to get the plastic in there, so that's going to work out pretty good. Now all I got to do is start hitting these little edges or these areas with the foam tape I was telling you guys about. I have it right here. This is the foam tape I'm going to be using. I've been having it for a long time. I was saving up for it and I finally just bought it off of Amazon. So it's a soft edge foam masking tape. It's about a 1/2 inch, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like right here. So I'm gonna apply it on one of these edges so I can show you guys how it goes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just put it on the whole car. I'm not gonna show you guys me putting it on the whole car because this video is gonna be pretty long and I want to get to the painting already. So let's get that moving. I'll show you guys in a bit. Let's go. All right, YouTube. So I already put on that foam tape. This is what it looks like. Let me see if I can give you guys a really good view. So the tape has a sticky to it. Let me see. So the tape has a sticky to it, you see. So it's on there pretty good, but I put it about 1/8 away from the actual edge. So that way when I do spray in there, that edge is going to be really soft. It's not going to be a sharp edge. But I put it all up on this fender already so you guys could check it out. Did it all the way down there. Did over here by the door. So you see how it is. This one obviously it's a little bit further away from the edge, but it's still going to give me a soft edge. So it looks pretty good. It's coming out pretty good. Now I'm going to do the rest of the car, and then we start setting up the boot so we can start painting, start spraying. Let's go. Alright YouTube, so all the foam tape is on the car. It's ready to go. It took me about 20 minutes to put it on. So you guys get an idea of how long it took to put on the sheeting and the rest of the masking. It took about 4 to 5 hours. Took me a couple of days to do it. I don't do everything all in one shot. I take a couple of days to do some things, 1 or 2 hours a day. So now it's time to start setting up the ghetto booth so we can start painting. So I have my spray booth exhaust filters that I need to put on the fans. I'm going to go do that right now. I'm going to put a couple of clips together so you guys can check out how I set up the booth. So let's get that going. Let's go. Now that the booth is ready to go, I already wiped down everything with wax and grease remover. So now it's time to start mixing the sealer. So I'm gonna start mixing it right now. We're gonna use the Eastwood epoxy and we're gonna reduce it down to use it for a sealer. I'm gonna do 10%. I have my scale here, so let's get to it. Let's go. But before I can start mixing, I'm gonna go ahead and spray these areas right here with some self-etch primer. I'm gonna do 2 coats of this. I'm gonna wait 5 to 10 minutes in between coats. So I'm gonna hit this spot right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit that spot over there. So let's start spraying. See how this goes. Just a mist on there. Wait 10 minutes. Same thing here. Wait 10 minutes, and then I'll hit it again. And then I'll go ahead and start mixing, and then we start spraying that sealer. Let's go. Alright, so I'm gonna let this sit overnight. That sealer's not dry yet. It's already been about 2 hours, so I'm gonna let it sit overnight, and then I'm gonna spray the base coat and clear coat tomorrow, so the following day. So check it out. You see how shiny it is? Not supposed to be like that, so it's still not flashed off completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit. I don't want to spray base coat and then start having a lot of problems with how it came out. So let's go. Bring you guys back on when it's time to spray again. Let's go. Alright, YouTube, so now it's the next day. So everything looks like it flashed off pretty good. Everything looks nice and dry. The sealer did pretty good. One thing that I wanted to show you guys too is, you see all that texture on this area here? That's the texture that was already on the car. I just scuffed it up, so it might look like there's some reaction there, but it's just a texture on that piece there on both sides. It's like that. But it's ready to be sprayed with some base, so I'm gonna tack it off. I have my tack rag right here ready to go, having it air out, completely sprayed out. So I'm gonna start tacking everything off, and then we're gonna jump right into spraying. So I gotta set the booth back up too, so I gotta just these parts here and then the one by the door over there. So let's jump into spraying. Let's go. Alright YouTube, so it's completely based. I put 2 coats on it. Everything looks pretty good. I did look at it with the flashlight to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And if I did, then I missed them with the flashlight too. So I'm gonna mix up the clear right now, and then we're gonna start spraying some clear. I'm gonna do 2 coats of the clear coat. We'll see how that comes out. So let's start mixing, let's go. Alright YouTube, so I ended up spraying 2 coats of clear on the whole car. I didn't record the whole thing because the overspray was becoming overwhelming. It was getting all over the place. It was becoming very foggy in here, and I didn't want to damage this phone because this is an old phone that I use for YouTube. And yeah, so I had to put it away. So I went ahead and sprayed the whole car. Wait till the end of the video. I'm gonna pull the car out in the sun so we could check out the color, so we could check out that pearl shining in the sun. So stay tuned for those. I'm gonna put those clips together. But yeah, everything came out pretty good. Everything's looking pretty shiny, pretty good. Look at that. Look at the shininess. It looks really good. It looks pretty good. It didn't have a lot of orange peel. It looked like it laid out nice and flat. I think I did really good on this side when it came to using my left hand. So I was pretty good with that. I was happy with it. I was able to get back here in that area where the motor was at, the windshield wiper motor. But yeah, one thing was that I noticed when I was spraying is this area here. See that little ring right there? See if I can move the camera around so you guys can see it better. You see that right there? So that tells me that I didn't blend that area good enough. I didn't spend more time or enough time scuffing it up with 220 and the maroon Scotch Brite. If you guys remember, this is where it was. There was some rust there, and then I took it down to bare metal. But the rest of the area where the same thing pretty much happened came out pretty good. It blended out pretty good. Same thing with the other side over here. I don't see any imperfections there, other than a little bit of nibs of trash in there, but other than that, came out pretty good. One thing I wanted to show you guys too is this foam tape, the purpose of it. Let me take this little piece off right here. So you see that right there? That line, how it's soft. It's not a sharp line. So it's gonna help out a lot when I'm prepping the outside of the car for paint. So take this one off. You see how soft that is? Real nice. There was a couple spots where it lifted, like the spot over here in the back. So this side right here, it lifted. And you see how there's a sharp line there. The tape is right here, and then the paint's right here. So that means this is going to be a real sharp line. And when I start blending that out, I'm going to spend more time trying to blend it out. See, over here, it stayed on pretty good. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. This little area here, on all the way down, both sides of the car. If you can see, let me get close. You can see that right there. It looks like there's a whole bunch of trash or some type of reaction, but it's actually a texture that's already on the car like that. So I wanted to show you guys that. Another thing too is check out these fans, the exhaust filters. They look saturated. It's completely clogged up. So I'm thinking of possibly putting two more fans over there, or I gotta figure out a better way of exhausting all these fumes or overspray and getting them out there where it's clean air and I'm not getting all kinds of crap all over my cars or the neighbors' cars. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. Alright guys, well thank you for hanging in there in this long ass video. Well, we finally got the Jambs painted. It's ready to go. I'm gonna unmask it right now and take it out. I'm not gonna show you guys me unmasking it, but yeah, stay tuned for those next videos. I'm gonna keep working on this Monte. Hopefully we get it painted this year, sometime this year. So if you're a new viewer, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share these videos. Let's get this Monte built. Let's go.